Alright, so last week I asked my followers on Instagram what's one thing up-and-coming rappers and producers struggle with throughout their career. What's that one thing that feels like an obstacle, something that's keeping them from reaching their goals? And a lot of you answered, and the answers were pretty similar. So we're going to talk about that today.
Let me get down, man.
What's one thing up-and-coming rappers and producers struggle with? What's that one thing that feels like an obstacle in their career, that feels like it's stopping them from where they want to be? And most of the responses, I'm not gonna lie, most of the responses were the same thing. They all had to do with getting noticed or getting acknowledged or turning people's heads or getting enough attention or the attention they deserve. So today we're going to talk about a few things you can do and a few mistakes a lot of up-and-coming rappers make when they're trying to build up this attention, build up this momentum, build up this buzz of getting the attention they deserve. Here's what I realized. A lot of artists are worried about getting noticed. But let's say you did get noticed. Then what, right? Let's say, I don't know, you put out a song and you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you got like 500,000 plays. Then what? Do you have anything for people to stay there? Do you have anything for people to keep their attention on you? Right? I feel like a lot of these rappers don't really have much to show. They don't really have much to make themselves worthy of attention, and then they worry too much about the attention they don't have. Does that make any sense? Like, for example, if you're a rapper and you're trying to get all that attention, right? You better have some extensive catalog of good music that those people, once you get the attention you deserve, the people who come to your page can stay on your page. They can stay streaming your songs. They can stay listening to. Because if you have one thing, right? Let's say you make one song and it blows up. That's only temporary. Like, people will stream that song for, I don't know, like a month or two, but that's about it. With the exception of the few rappers who actually do blow up out of nowhere, and then they're able to follow up the hit with another hit and another hit, most people will be forgotten within a month. You have to understand this. In order for people to give you that attention and for that attention to stay on you, you need to have something to show. You need to have some sort of personality, something that makes people fall in love with who you are. Because if you get that attention, as easy it was to get that attention, you'll lose that attention. So if you're a rapper, producer, or pretty much anyone who's chasing this attention, just pause for a second and think to yourself if you have anything to show once you do get that attention. So another thing a lot of up-and-coming rappers have to realize is the amount of actual work that goes on behind the scenes in order for someone to get noticed. I feel like a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people look at someone that went viral on the internet and they just assume it was luck and this and that. There's a lot of work happening behind the scenes in order for someone to go viral and be able to keep that status. Even the artists who you believe have blown up out of nowhere have been putting in work for years. They've been trying to get noticed for years. You just haven't been able to see that because you never knew of them and you hadn't heard of them. A lot of people have to understand the coming up might be super fast, so it might feel like this person just hopped into the scene, but they might be putting in work behind the scenes for the longest and you just might not have been aware of that. You have to think about that. So if you're trying to blow up, if you're trying to get noticed, first of all, you have to be ready. You have to mentally be ready. You have to stop everything, put yourself in the mind space that this might take 10 years, 15 years, it might take your whole life and it still might not happen. You have to understand that. You have to fully accept the fact that this might take forever. And for years, people might think you're not doing anything. And for years you might see no results. You have to fully accept that before hopping into this. Because if you're trying to come in here and be like, yo, I want to blow up in 6 months, I'm going to do everything to blow up in 6 months. No. So in order to put yourself in the path of getting noticed, you have to understand what other people have been doing. You have to look at other people, you have to watch videos, you have to take some advice, you have to read books, you have to do all of that to understand things that could help this procedure of getting noticed and things that would work against this procedure of getting noticed. Look at other people who have achieved this sort of attention that you're seeking. Look at what they did. Look at what worked for them. Look at what they keep doing now. Try to look at other people who have struggled to get this attention. What didn't work for them? Try to form some sort of idea of what works and what doesn't do so you know what to focus on. At the same time, try to use your own imagination. Try and think about other ways that you can come up with that could kind of get this attention. Try to get the main idea of how this attention works, how attention is directed, and try to bring your own ideas to the table, your own strategies, your own tactics. Maybe you come across a rapper who's gaining a lot of attention freestyling on Instagram Live, and maybe you'd like to try that too, but at the same time, try to put your own spin on it. For example, you could invite people on your Instagram Live and you can have like a little, I don't know, like a little battle on Instagram Live. That could be something interesting. If you're into that, you should definitely try to put in the work and the effort of coming up with ideas to stand out from the rest of the crowd. And so the last thing we're going to talk about is building connections. Building connections, I feel like, is very corporate, so it scares a lot of people away, but is crucial if you're trying to put yourself on the path of getting noticed. At the most basic level, you should be replying to the people who comment on your post, to the people who slide in your DMs. Just try to keep that connection going. Even like on a very basic level, if someone hits you up with some, hey, like I enjoyed your last song, just be like, yo, I appreciate that. Try to open up the doors to communication. Because if you think about it, that way you're just investing in your connections. It'll take like 10 minutes out of your day, but for the other person, it might mean a lot. And that other person in the next 3, 5, 10 years might be in a very crucial position that could help you out. Think about it. Stop playing the short game, start playing the long game. Next time you come across an artist, just pause. If you enjoy their music, hit them up, drop a comment, slide in their DMs, let them know you appreciate them, let them know you like their music and whatnot. Build those connections, because that artist might blow up in the next 5 years and they might pull you up. Or at the same time, you might blow up first and you might realize that artist has a lot of potential and you can pull them up. You'll understand there's a lot of examples in hip hop music where an artist has allowed another artist to get the attention they deserve. Let's take the examples of X and Slump God. X blew up out of nowhere and he kind of opened up the doors for Slump God to receive the attention he deserves. Now, I'm not saying Slump God wouldn't have received that attention otherwise. I'm just saying that the way X blew up and he blew up so fast, it accelerated the procedure of Slump God getting the attention he deserves. Same thing with Lil Pump and Smoke Perp. Lil Pump blew up really fast. He had a lot of attention on him. First thing he did, pulled up Smoke Perp next to him, and Smoke Perp received the attention he deserves. They then became individual artists. A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg, DaBaby and Stunner from Vegas, Drake and Brokeboi JB, Drake and the Migos, pretty much anything Drake has been on. So just to recap on everything we said today, first things first, rarely, very rarely does anyone blow up by doing nothing, right? Very rarely does someone blow up from their first song. So if you're trying to actually get the attention you deserve, understand it'll take a lot of time, it'll take a lot of effort. You'll have to approach every single fan one by one. Appreciate your fans. Doesn't matter if it's like one of them, doesn't matter if it's like 20 of them. Show love, take your time with it, stop rushing it and stop putting deadlines on your career. That's one. Second, do some research, see what other people are doing, see what other people at your level are doing, and see what other people who have achieved that attention have done in the past. Try to understand what they've done, what has worked, and at the same time, bring your own ideas and put your own spin on things and make it unique. Lastly, build those connections. Try to network like a lawyer. Build that network, expand that network, invest in relationships with people because you never know where they might be in the future. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If you stuck around, I really appreciate you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you next week.